the night, beat to the marrow, keeping out of sight, where we all glow into new flow. Sunset spilling out, light leaks on the pavement, shadows blacking out, punk rock and pagan.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ethereum's up nicely over 3,000. I'd like to see it stay above 3K for several days and close up there on the weekly. I'm not sure what happened to the music there. Maybe it doesn't like the Ethereum momentum for NFTs. Usually we'll see if Ethereum goes up really rapidly, we'll see NFTs cool off. They work inversely typically, but we'll see what happens here. Volume's definitely lower the past couple days, but I'm still keeping my eye on the blue chips here. Let me bring in the other guys. Yo, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yo.
What do you guys think about the NFTs, the volume and everything, if we continue to see Ethereum go, possibly 3,500 or something?
Well, the market sentiment right now feels bullish. Like, everything's going up, both ETH and NFTs simultaneously. I don't know how long that can last. But yeah, I'm seeing even really random projects pump, noticing stuff. Like, I was looking at, I always check floors of, like, Koala Intelligence Agency and really, really crappy old projects. And if they're pumping, then it's usually, like, a good sign for, like, market sentiment right now. But yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'm feeling good. A lot of the stuff that we've been buying has been up only, but we know that doesn't last forever.
Well, we've had a cool off in volume, like a big cool off from the weekend. And so, yeah, we'll see if it keeps going down here. Yesterday we were at 76 million. We'll be down slightly for the day again. So I don't know in my mind, I would just say if we continue running up with Ethereum and BTC, I think NFTs would cool off a bit, but
it's hard to tell if the pullback is from the fact that it's the week and that's typically what happens, or if it's correlated with the price. I think maybe a little of both.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like ETH hasn't exploded in a way where it's like, you're spending, like I feel like what really happens when we see ETH like take a real upswing is that those projects that are like sub 0.5 ETH really just start to die, because when you're spending like 0.3, 0.2 ETH, that's almost like $1,000 US. So before we hit that point, I think we have a little bit more to go. But if ETH really does want to keep pushing up, then I think we do see a bit of a pullback in volume at least.
Cool. Yeah, I like that call. I can agree with that. Let's move in here to 1 second. Yeah, you guys McKay, you want to talk about this Vitalik Buterin stuff? The Time magazine?
Yeah. Vitalik, like the creator of Ethereum, basically did a full interview with Time magazine. It just like explaining where he thinks ETH is right now, kind of the correlation between his vision for Ethereum when he started working on it and NFTs, and basically ended up expressing frustration towards anyone who's listened to like his he's done a lot of podcasts in the past. He's done a few really good ones with a guy named Lex Friedman, who's a MIT professor and artificial intelligence developer, and basically in the past has also expressed his feelings where his goal with Ethereum and like cryptocurrency in general is really for more accessible good deeds to be done through charitable causes using Ethereum primarily. And so in this interview, he basically expressed his concerns with people buying Bored Apes for like 3 million, which obviously that's a very select few. But he expressed his concern he's basically saying, why are people buying JPEGs? There's no use. They're going and spending this money in like Miami on yachts and big yacht parties, rather than, donating this. And he used the example in Ukraine because he's been very vocal about the Ukraine and Russia situation, and how, really good charitable causes have been able to be organized through Ethereum and through cryptocurrency, which wouldn't have otherwise been able to be organized and done nearly as efficiently as it was. And so, yeah, he just expressed frustrations through NFTs. He says that he's not against NFTs by any means, but he just thinks there needs to be better ways of managing charitable causes through Ethereum, because that was his original goal with it.
Yeah, I think he takes a more humanitarian slant, and he's probably a bit frustrated that people have been able to make crazy amounts of money and kind of just been using it for self-serving purposes rather than like creating stuff for the greater good, which I think is the vibe I get from him. He seems like a real kind of humanitarian, visionary type of guy, who's not, obviously he's like one of the richest guys in the world. He's not really concerned with money, and I feel like he is kind of pushing back against some of the commodification and marketization of his product, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely what it seems like. Um, yeah, it's interesting too, because it's so interesting how they only talk Bored Ape. Like, he doesn't mention, you know, where 99% of the, or not, that's actually not true, but where almost all of the market activity is, which is outside of Bored Ape's ecosystem. Obviously, if you look at it from like a numeric standpoint, Bored Ape's volume is a large percentage of total daily volume just because of the high market price. But he doesn't express much like concern towards smaller projects or smaller artists. He seems like he's just more focused about where this ETH is being spent, as opposed to you know, in reference to Bored Ape, I guess, because they're just like the face of NFTs, as opposed to smaller projects with artists who are like changing their lives, by giving them a platform that they wouldn't have otherwise had.
Yeah, I never really liked Vitalik's take on most things, to be honest. He's kind of I don't know. It's why I'm way more bullish on Bitcoin, just because there's like Ethereum or any of these cryptocurrencies where they're more centralized. I don't know. I just feel more comfortable owning Bitcoin, but I do love Ethereum. I think what they do, what Ethereum does, is awesome. The layers that they have and companies building on layer twos and stuff is really makes me really bullish about it. But I don't know. It's his opinion, so kind of interesting. It was actually really funny. This was something else you brought up, McKay, how he said he didn't know who Tom Brady was.
So funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's clueless. I don't know if Vitalik lives in the U.S., or I think he lives in the U.S., but
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Let's go. Goop Dudes. Aiden's
Yeah.
original call, Goop Dudes. What's up with that?
Aiden crushed that call. They were in stock for how long, AD? Like a day? Really, really, really hyped project or team launching the project, then yeah, this is just how a lot of stuff is going. Like whether it's half a day or 5 days, but yeah, Goop Dubes are cool. I bought two of them. It's crazy. The last 2,000 of them minted really really quickly, so I ended up buying two for basically mint price on OpenSea. And then last night we saw Daniel got hits. Who we follow, and I don't know, I like a lot of his takes on stuff. He really called Azuki really well. He called MFers really well, and he's got his finger, and he also Bored Apes at 0.8, held them until like a month or two ago, so he's got his finger on the pulse for sure. And he was kind of going crazy about these, tweeting about how many that he was buying a bunch, whatever. At this point they were like 0.02, 0.03. I bought a few
literally
more.
below mint price.
Yeah, below mint price. I bought a few more for 0.04, 0.05, so like right at mint. and then overnight they went basically 6x from there. They got up to about a 0.29 floor, and right now we're sitting right around 0.23 with still a ton of volume, like 6,000 sales today. So yeah, absolutely dominating. It's been an awesome project to be in, and Aiden, crazy call on the mint. I wish I minted a bunch. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I wish I minted more. I only ended up minting 5. I know Garrett and I sold 1 each this morning at
Yeah,
around
for
like
0.27.
0.27 ish, just to cover our initial investment. So now we're just riding. But I've heard from a couple of members that also bought after hearing me talk about it on the show. So shout out to you guys, Slumdog Millionaire. I know you bought and held. So congrats. Yeah, looking forward to this one. I think it does actually have further legs. Just because the art is so unique. The artist, like I said in the original call, has been working on this project and this style of art for quite some time. And I think, like Garrett mentioned, the slow mint meta, I think there's another meta, which is like people are really searching for those artists who have kind of dedicated their lives and their craft to creating this, and then just use NFTs kind of as a portal or a gateway to monetize art that they've already been working on, versus like these new projects that kind of come out of nowhere, that are kind of using NFTs as a way just to create a business and make money for themselves, rather than like a true artist that's kind of been working on this concept or a similar one for quite some time. And I compare this to Dower Darcel's and the same idea, which is like, yes, it was a slow mint, but the guy that created those has been working on them since like 2011. And the market really didn't pay too much attention until they sold out and the volume picked up. And then everyone was like, oh shit, there's actually something here. So I think Goop Dudes could do the same, watching it closely. But yeah, super exciting and glad that so many people were able to get in on it.
Yeah.
The thing about
Go ahead, McKay.
I was just gonna say, like, this isn't really a new meta either. I remember Garrett pointing out, like, why Danny Cole stood out in September when we started looking at his work, and that was just because of the same exact reason. He was drawing creature worlds when he was in like 5th grade.
And I was about to say the same thing. There's been several projects where it's like people find out the artist is like legit and stuff, or at least they just start talking about it a bunch on Twitter, and the floor just like pumps. That happened with those panda things where everyone was like, it's the Bored Ape of China or whatever, but it like the artist was really well known, I remember too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Fanta Bear. Yeah.
yeah, Fanta Bears.
J Chew.
Gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
But last thing on Goop Dudes, I actually don't hate a buy-in now.
I don't
if you're
either.
considering it, because I think there's and this is something that I noticed when I was calling Azuki at 2.8, was that there were so few actual NFT big influencer guys in the project that I knew it just had more room to go as more people kind of got exposed to it. And I feel the same way with Goop Dudes. Like, I think there's only 2 guys that we were able to find that are big influencers that are in this. Daniel got hits. Garrett, do you remember the other one?
I don't, but the other dude, he's got a big following, but he put the tweet out
Popeye.
just like, yeah, Popeye. He put it out pretty nonchalantly at like 2:30 a.m. So we haven't seen like a ton of influencer stuff. I will say though, Daniel got hits 100% kicked this thing off, and clearly has the ability to move floors more than I thought he did, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. It was quite a surprise.
Yep.
It's quite a surprise, but yeah, I actually don't hate a buy-in, because I think these have more room when bigger names get in the project and kind of dig in, figure out what's going on.
I was thinking that like 5 minutes ago. So I actually am. This is where I'm gonna buy since they've come down a little bit. I'm gonna buy 2 here, and then yeah, I'll wait and see what happens the next hour or 2. I might get a couple more. I think it's a good area here, but could go to shit.
We've seen like Aiden said earlier, you know, Dower Darcel's and other projects around this range that, you know, get up to 0.6, 0.7. And I think that ideally, but like AD had mentioned, I pulled out my initial investment. I honestly would consider re-entering right around this like 0.2, maybe a little bit under if it does get down there. And looking for like 0.5, 0.6 ideally would be amazing.
I think it's possible.
Me too.
People like these. They do like them.
Yeah.
You want to tell people how I had like the 100 an 80
Oh, yeah.
S1, and I sold it 2 days ago, only for this to happen overnight.
Slump's
Yeah,
kind of
Adam,
becoming a
minted yours.
counter trade, a good counter trade at this point.
I thought the project was dead, and then this guy comes out of nowhere. I didn't know who he was, but I follow him now. But I still made money on it, so I can't be too mad. But yeah,
Actually, the guy that
Probably missed
slumps
out on a
the
ton.
two sold it for a loss. So the guy that slump sold it to sold it for 0.1 before the pump. So
Yeah. When these projects slow down, especially these ones that are really low price, Vince has mentioned this, like, you just don't sell because it's
Yeah.
more likely that they go up than they just continue to just be dormant.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'd rather do that. I don't need 0.01 in my wallet. You know what I'm saying?
You usually have a
rather
good
ride.
opportunity to get out. Yeah. And obviously this one, you had a great opportunity here.
yeah. In my few experiences in projects that slowed down, they haven't went that way. So I was like, all right, time to just take what I can get and get out. But wrong play. It's all right. There's always the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very cool, though, to see this get some traction. I think they're cool, unique, easy to distinguish, so it's got some keys there that I like to follow, and I like the art, so... Let's see. Just didn't like the market enough to be buying these kind of things, but obviously the market's doing better than I've been thinking. Women from Venus. I saw these being talked about yesterday.
Siri bought these. Siri pointed them out in chat at 0.07 and bought a few at that price.
Okay.
Yeah. So these they minted out yesterday on the 21st. It's an all-female led team. The art is honestly whatever. It's a little bit, to me, I think it's a little bit more polished than World of Women, I would say. If you're looking at some of the stuff on the website, I personally take to it a bit more. But that being said, like, I think that these all-female avatar type projects are limited in their like long-term potential. But I think that we're always like, for some reason, these female-led projects always manage to pump quite a bit. This happened with another project that I'm invested in.
It was the one Vincent called, right?
Rebel
Yeah,
Rebel Society.
Women's Society. Yeah.
Yeah, Rebel
Those have
Society.
come
That
down
went
a
up to
lot.
like
Wow.
the 0.4 floor, and then it went down.
Yeah.
I ended up buying it 235. I still have it, unfortunately, but I think that there's a lot of opportunity with these because World of Women is such an expensive project that things that are similar and do basically or capture that same type of audience of people that want to support women and onboarding people and women into Web3, which again is the mission of this project. I think have legs in any market. So I'll be paying attention to the reveal tomorrow just to see how low they can go. If they're below 0.1, I'm gonna buy because I feel like that's very easy. I can see these going right back up to 0.2, 0.3, and I'd probably look to exit there. But this is more of a trade. I don't think I'd be looking at these long term unless there's something I'm not aware of for the project. But yeah, wanted to surface this one just because they're top volume. They've been top volume since yesterday, and I think it's one we should probably pay some attention to. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I like them. They look cool. I like them more, I think, than the World of Women, like I think you had said. Rebel Society, I remember doing really well on and making that call, but yeah, they'll obviously come down a ton.
Mm-hmm. They kind of just fizzle out if they're not doing
Exactly.
anything. World of Women was lucky to pick up all those partnerships. If they hadn't, and those influencers, if they hadn't done that, like, who knows? But I just thought it was also interesting that OpenSea verified them within 24 hours of launching, which I feel like is an interesting. Like, for example, Raid Party isn't even verified yet. Like, Gutter Juice isn't verified. Like, for some reason, someone's paying attention to these, and I think we should too.
Cool. All right, next up, Bape to Verse. Gosh, this thing I've looked at 100 times, I feel like, in 3 months.
Yeah, this project's like, I really think it's kind of a joke. We had this channel open. We had first seen
We've had
this,
it forever. I feel like.
yeah, like this sets the record for longest release channel in our releases category, and probably not for good reason. They basically opened this. We had posted it like first. I saw it like first couple weeks of February, and I was like, wow, this is when we were just coming off that really hot January where we were seeing record-setting volume like literally day after day. And things were on an uptrend. We didn't have to deal with the bear market like we have for the like 3 weeks prior to this week, right? And whatever, they opened a Discord server. They had like one art teaser, which was like a 3D model with some sun behind it. There was nothing special to it at all. And then we just didn't hear anything about it for like 3 weeks. And finally, like last week, they basically said, okay, here's the deal. Obviously, it's like affiliated with Bape, being Bathing Ape, very popular clothing brand. At once was probably like top tier, like Supreme, like on Supreme's level in like I'd say 2017 through 2019. Has since died down a lot. Most of their collaborations really don't flip for much at all anymore. They have a huge, I mean, really the large majority of Bape's demand comes from Japan and overseas. Regardless, it's a 10,000 piece collection of their character, being like the bathing ape. It's like a 3D model. I really don't think the art's all that great because they're not very unique. They're almost all, excuse me, from what we've seen, identical and very, very similar. With mint price of 0.3, and then there's going to be gas. Each person can mint 2. Like, I don't see, on a 10,000 collection, it just, for me, I really think it just screams cash grab. Their roadmap is nothing special. It's super vague. Basically, they're not even doing, like, there's no tokenomics. It's like this project is one that would have been so great if it launched in October or November, but I almost think they did themselves a disservice by speaking too early, and now it's just like we're just sitting here with very vague information about a 10,000 piece project that almost all looks identical. Like, the only traits are different hair colors for the most part, and some like masks and stuff, but it's not, I don't know, I don't think it's anything that we're going to start paying a bunch of attention to.
Yeah, I don't
I
like
think
it.
if the Asian market likes it, there could be a flip opportunity just based off of volume. We could see it like really pump hard overnight, just because it is that brand and it does just have that cachet. Especially if there's an easy onboarding process for the NFT, and people can get it relatively simply. That's what I'm looking at for. But I agree with all your points, McKay. I don't like the art. I don't think it has long-term value other than the fact that it is a Bape affiliated project, and I think it could sell based on that. So I'll be watching it just to see what the price looks like.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. I think the only way this could like pull something that we just don't, right now we don't see coming would be if they did some sort of, because right now, like, there is something to be said about the success of fashion brands getting into projects like Adidas and Gucci are doing a collaboration. They're doing a capsule collection that includes clothing and NFTs, which is on the way. I think it was Dior is getting into NFTs, and then one other like high-end designer. And then obviously like that Gucci collection that we had seen back in February did really well. And so I think like it'd be great if these guys had collaborated with Adidas, would be like perfect, because Bape and Adidas have done several collaborations in the past. And obviously CloneX with Nike. So there is something to be said about really successful projects right now that are using like the fashion meta, but sadly, like, these guys are kind of just on their own with 10,000 items in their own collection. So
10,000's a lot. Yeah, I don't.
yeah,
We'll see. I think they're gonna sell. I mean, they're gonna sell out for sure. It kind of
absolutely.
just depends. Like, I think they'll probably sit at like 0.5. So if you can mint them for a decent price, maybe do it. I'll be watching, probably waiting for reveal, and see like McKay said, like if it's only just different hair colors and facial features, that's not interesting. It's got to be
Yeah,
something cool.
exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Feels like another one that I'm just gonna completely forget about. I don't know. See what happens.
Feels like Hate Beast.
Yeah,
It
but
looks
10
like it
times worse. I don't know. Had to bring it up because there could be some potential here. I agree. Magic Eden. Who's ready? Astralas. Dude.
Oh, Astral slumped.
We're back.
Slumped. We're back.
So this is one that if you didn't counter trade me, you're up pretty well right now. I called this-
Oh, he's back.
Oh yeah, we're back. So I called it on the podcast. I want to say it was somewhere between 5 and 6. So we'll call it an average of 5.5. And they're sitting at, let's see now, I have it minimized. They're sitting at, I think, a 12.5 floor right now. And,
Damn.
yeah, so we're up pretty good right now. They hit, I think they peaked at even 13.5, which is awesome. So if you did buy in here, you kind of have two options. This is absolutely a great time to sell and secure some profits. Nothing wrong with that ever. But I'm thinking I still want to hold, and it's kind of a gamble. So that liquidity pool still isn't in play yet, and it's only getting more and more money in it every time something's sold. And the reason it's a gamble is because when that price of their token comes out, I think it's either moonshot or zero at this point. Well, not literally zero, but I think if it's going to open at a really high price, we're going to explode, even more than we already have. People are loving these on Twitter. People love Shaq. Anytime Shaq even says hello in the chat, people go nuts. They love him. Price goes up.
Good
A lot
price.
to like here. Again, kind of a gamble. Can't really go wrong with selling. So yeah, great job if you bought in when I called it. Really liked the project, and I'm still
Yeah.
holding. I believe in
Are you
Shaq.
buying in more now? Like, what's the? Or is it too late? Or do you think this keeps going?
You can buy it now, but I think it's higher risk, much higher risk than when I originally called it, just because you're kind of gambling on that token price, right? So, I mean, I have all reason to believe it's going to open high. I mean, the $3 billion plus liquidity pool is, I haven't seen anything even come close to that.
Mhm.
So, I pair it with all these big names talking about it and Shaq being the founder. I think if everything plays out right, these are going to go up.
Do you think
Of
do
course.
you know if there's anything in place to like prevent people from just dumping their token claim? Like, is there anything?
So it doesn't exist yet. I don't think. Well, I know it doesn't exist yet, but basically they have some sort of ecosystem where you'll be able to spend the token. I think they have a game coming out in however long. It's nothing immediately on the horizon, so I don't think it's going to necessarily prevent it. But you know, who knows? They might have some stuff that they haven't said yet.
Yeah.
I feel like they've kind of got a lot under wraps here, and this is kind of just going purely based off hype.
Looking back at it, I feel like the Astrals play was just like stood out to us like a sore thumb. At least I know you were all over it, but I feel like Astrals have been like the most obvious, at least one of the most obvious Solana plays.
Yeah.
That's not some like play to earn game, and with Shaq's involvement, in actual involvement, because Shaq's been a part of like ridiculous money grabs in the past.
And his son, yeah, and his son too.
Yeah, like their involvement, I think this like stood out so so visibly. I didn't trade it. I didn't counter trade slumped either though, so better than counter
I
trading.
slept. I was not paying. You were telling us, and I was not listening. So
Listen, at a
Yeah,
glance,
I
these
slept on
don't
Slim.
look good. The art is. It's
that's
high
why I thought
quality.
the art was really bad.
These things look absurd, and if
Yeah.
anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying. There are a couple cool ones, but some of them look ridiculous. Funny fact, that blue-looking guy, I guess his name is like Spearin or something. There's a like a fan account DAO on Twitter, which is kind of funny. And they only buy those, and they pump it like crazy. And they've got like I think 20 of just the one character.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, at a glance, when these first dropped, I mean, 10K collection we don't really love in Solana for the most part. So yeah, there was a lot to like, a lot to dislike, and I believe in Shaq's hustle. That's what I'm going with, and I really liked it just from everything that they had put out, and it's paying off.
Cool.
But if we really want to talk
Yeah,
blue
let's
chips,
talk about
Ooh.
these that look sick.
yeah, the D gods.
Yeah.
So I don't have one. I don't remember. So these minted before I really started paying attention. I don't remember if we had covered these or not.
We did. Oh,
We did.
we
Okay,
covered these
awesome.
for mint and everything. I remember them.
Awesome, great. So I think right off the bat they did pretty well. They might have settled around a 5 to 7 floor. Now obviously you'll see they're what 70 something, 70, 80. Let me pull it up here.
77.
Yep, 77. So these guys in the past few weeks have absolutely like captured the pure aspect of building a strong community and unifying under one front. I've never seen anything like it. Everyone is there to help each other and drive everyone to better success, and it's insane. I'm not in the community, so I don't know the exact detail of everything, but they've also got this crazy staking. I think their token is over $1 right now. It's called Dust. And why that's important is because they have something coming out, and this is, I think, playing into this massive pump. I mean, these have just gone insane pretty quickly. They have something called a dead god coming out. So there's D gods and dead gods. And that's also similar to Doodles with the spaceships, how you kind of transform your NFT rather than get another one. But to do that, you need, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but you need a ton of dust. I have a buddy who has one of these. He bought them super low, so he's pretty happy right now. He tells me all about it all the time. So the dust will get you the dead god. And the dust, obviously is deflationary because you have to spend it to use that. And so the price keeps going up, the demand keeps going up. And again, just playing into that community card, once you kind of add all that together, you've got a blue chip. Everybody likes it. I think there's even some Bored Ape Yacht Club holders who are buying into this project as of recently, which is awesome to see. So yeah, I really think these might hit 100. I think they might dip once the dead gods kind of roll out a little bit, but the guy, his name's Frank. Frank is a phenomenal community
Frank the
leader.
Tank.
He does really well navigating kind of the Twitter atmosphere of everything, and it just does right by everything and everyone involved with his project. And it's just such a strong ecosystem that these might hit 100 in the next couple days. I think the dead gods roll out at the end of the month. I don't know the exact date, but I think we have at least a week. So,
Would you rather have? Go ahead.
I was going to say I'm a D gods mental investor.
So would you rather have a D god or a Mindfolk? Because they're like basically the same floor right now, and we know where Mindfolk went.
I'm going D god. I don't see much talk about Mindfolk, and I see D gods everywhere. And aren't those trending down?
Oh yeah, man, we're down from like a high of 250.
Yeah,
we're at 75.
I'm going D god. I will say I like the Mindfolk art a lot better, but in terms of everything, I'm going D god all the way.
The other issue is like I don't know what Mindfolk can do right now to pump their floor that they haven't done. And I feel like D gods, you have so much exposure to new ideas because it's still so early in that project as compared to. Because, like, the timeline's so different, right? Mindfolk's been out for so much longer.
Yeah.
And with D gods, you get Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
I haven't seen it, but I think there's a podcast out there with Frank from a couple weeks ago that is supposed to be really good. Definitely recommend everyone goes to check that out. Kind of gives some insight into
Frank
how he
on
operates
YouTube.
with his.
That's Frank.
Wow.
Yeah, but they've just like the volume is insane. The listings only go down. Just everyone everywhere loves these guys. So, mental investor.
The question
my mental
is,
investment is going well.
Let's go.
do we counter slumped or not?
Ooh.
No.
Okay,
not until
D
I'm
gods.
big
I like
one.
it. I like it. I like them. They're cool. They're actually cool looking. I do like Mindfolks as well, though. Somebody asked about the Acrocalypse. I remember we talked about these. At 0.8, I'm not touching them.
Yeah, me either. They're too high.
Yeah, too high.
they were sitting for so long around like 0.1 to 0.3, I think, after they announced the fees.wtf utility. So I don't know. I mean, you'll get that airdrop, and you'll be able to use the token in the ecosystem. But we've seen so many times like airdrop tokens
Yeah.
and ecosystem-based tokens like typically don't keep their prices. They kind of just tend to wither
Kills
off.
the project.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't love it. If you the best time to buy those was when no one was talking about them, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
That's why I'm buying Mindfolk. No one's talking about that shit. No, I'm kidding. I'm not buying anything. Okay, I think we're done with NFT world. I think we're just ending off with the wave runners today, which was a crazy drop. Wasn't
I mean,
didn't they drop the SMS and email verification like an hour into it?
yeah,
or
they
so?
had that up for like 45 minutes.
They've done that
or something.
before.
And then, yeah, they dropped it because no one could like check out. And then, you know, the wave runners were in stock for what, 2 hours?
Yeah, long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
2.5 hours.
Prices are right now hover around 350. I mean, expecting like around 6 months from now, they'll go back up to around the 450 range, like as it always does after every restock.
Yeah.
Not much
How
to
These
it.
are a hold for me. Holding them.
Did
Yeah,
you run Aiden?
I'd rather buy
No,
four vinyls.
I had someone else run me.
Oh,
I am
okay.
someone else. I ran him.
This is why I buy vinyls, man. You buy 10 vinyls for $400, and then you make $400, and they're small.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
No, we have.
No, I don't
we
think
have
so,
a
honestly.
monster vinyl tomorrow.
What?
We've got a monster vinyl tomorrow.
I know.
We're buying all of them.
Oh shit! Don't leak! Don't leak!
Be
Too
in the
early.
group
I mean, the
tomorrow.
thing with vinyls, the difference is the liquidity on, at least in my opinion,
Mm.
is like the liquidity on a wave runner will always be there, or at least for as long as there's liquidity on a vinyl that's a 2x like that. So obviously we're not expecting to ever 2x on the UZ wave runner, but this is totally a shoe that we make $70 to $100 on in 3 months, in my opinion, if you can just sell it correctly, like locally or on a site with lower fees than StockX. And obviously StockX shouldn't in my opinion, and something I've seen a lot of conversation about this recently. It's like StockX should no longer be indicating market value, because all they're doing is putting 50% off seller fees on various products like once or twice a
Yeah.
month at this point. And it's just killing market prices for no reason, because demand isn't changing when they do 50% seller fees. It's just for, it's all marketing on their end. So it's sad that StockX has the ability to like take 50% off fees and just kill Xbox prices if they want, or kill, random prices on something when demand is stagnant, if not rising, on a shoe like a wave runner, which will always have demand.
The crazy thing though is like I think of buying like 50 of the Red Hot Chili Peppers albums. All of them are over 2x. It's just, I don't know. I look for those types of things where I would obviously buy wave runners, but it's just hard to get enough of those to make $500.
To make $400. Yeah, that is
Because it was so easy. Anytime we ping out of 5 times probably now that we've pinged that Red Hot Chili Peppers vinyl, it's been in stock for at least 15, 20, 30 minutes. You could have bought orders of 4 over and over. It's just different. But like, again, I would buy wave runners too, because I'm not going to pass up on any profit. So, yeah, just a different time right now with these releases. And it's why I've always told people to buy vinyl too, buy shoes and vinyl.
Gonna miss out. I mean, I'm losing $20 a pair right now if I sell. So
Let's go.
Oof.
Yeah.
But McKay, you said these are an easy consignment mover, right? Like you have buddies
Gotta
who do
be.
that.
Gotta
Dude,
be.
every time I go into our local store here, these guys have wave runners selling all day for $450 to $500.
Yeah, local is the
Regardless-
move.
Yeah, and that's what I said in our release updates channel this morning. Like, this isn't a shoe that everyone should just go blindly buying, but if you have access at all, especially because we know that the guys who win on a release like this are going to be the ones who are hitting dozens of pairs, and they're fine with moving them for $40 profit because those guys are going to be willing to drive from wherever, from Philadelphia to New York, if that means they're going to sell $15,000 worth of shoes and make or make $4,000. Like that's an easy money, money move. So that's the play.
Buy that vinyl. I just pinged a vinyl.
Go, Aiden, go.
Okay. The Taking Back Sunday stuff that we were doing today, for those of you in Discord, they've been selling pretty quickly on the out of 1,000 one. People were saying they were going about every second a sale out of the 1,000. So I will be buying limited versions of this Taking Back Sunday. The Amazon stuff we'll keep an eye on. And yeah, I'll update it in the vinyl chat. But I don't have
They're moving.
Yeah, of course they're moving. I don't have anything else to cover today other than buy everything we post about that's profitable. Don't stick to one thing.
Did you hit those tickets today, Vince?
Yeah, dude. Like I said, that's why I posted about them. I'm ready to get back into tickets. I was telling McKay, maybe Ace Love, like I'm done sleeping on, because for a while I've been passing on concert tickets, which is free money, and also on cards that are like Dutch auction or like those sparkle packs or whatever. And I did well on those in 2021, and I'm not going to do that anymore because there's no point in missing out on profit ever. So going to be posting in the Discord too for people to be doing this stuff. Yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers hasn't shipped. They won't ship their pre-orders.
April 1st.
Yeah, so that'll be a couple weeks.
Little April Fool's joke.
Oh no, they're not shipping. Oh no.
Delayed shipments.
Delayed. I'm actually gonna buy another set of these two. They're limited to 2. Gonna go on another Addy here. But yeah. Anything else that we want to talk about?
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think I'm good, man.
Set.
Cool. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Sweet.
Not too early.